Capricorn, welcome to your Intimate Tarot reading. If you are brand new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read Intimate Tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. Heads up. If you are someone who is sensitive around those subjects, sexual energy, sexual identification, or descriptions in that kind of vein, okay, feel free to pass this message type up. It's not for you. No offense taken. None whatsoever, you know. You're either interested in the subject or you're not. And I don't want you to watch anything that makes you uncomfortable because you will take nothing from it. And that's true of any and all tarot types. Basically, those who tune into this, they want to understand their intimate energies because it does affect who we are as individuals and thus stands to reason our relationships. And I never know what I'm going to see. Most people just want to learn more about themselves. It can range anywhere between, I just want to know if I'm going to get laid, Christina, to I'm trying to better understand my sexual energy in a relationship that has just started, or one that has been established for decades and it's still going. Somewhere in there. Okay? Regardless, if you choose to stick around and watch, I hope this helps you. Put it in the comments. All right, we're going to start by pulling you an energetic overview. Show me that Capricorn. Sexual energy. Show me that Capricorn. Sexual energy. Show me that Capricorn. Sexual energy. I chose to film out of order today. You're actually first up. What's going on? Freedom, number 32. Sexual freedom. Opening up and closing off. Freedom is a dualistic choice. We often forget that, yeah? Sexual freedom. Sexual liberation. You could be closing off a particular sexual cycle, opening up towards it. Thing is, it's yours. It's your choice. All sexual energy is our choice. To understand it, to take from it, to not. Some of you have severed ways with somebody. We see here the female. She is doing what is, in the spiritual arts, is referred to as cord cutting. So, and then also picture cutting. The idea of I've severed ties with you. Okay. My sexual energy is no longer for you. I am free from you. So not just free to pursue other sexual adventures or new sexual energies, but like I said, self-liberation. She also wears the necklace of the bird who is free to fly. So some of you have severed ways with somebody whom you had a sexual relationship with, or perhaps it never took off, failed to launch, who knows. That's why we're here. Let's take a look at those very things. Show me that. Show me that. I might see how it led up to that. I might see you entering something new. I don't know. Show me that Capricorn, sexual energy. Show me that Capricorn, sexual energy. Show me that Capricorn, sexual energy. And yes, you can free yourself, you can free your sexual energy from someone whom you've never had sex with, 100%. If you felt that inclination towards somebody, but it wouldn't take off, you can still free yourself from it, 100%. Energy entanglement is real, guys. And it has such strong state power, sometimes even more so, often more so, than, say, the physical energy that can back it up, or doesn't. See what I'm saying? There may not have been any physical exchange at all. Hence why you might have chosen to cut your sexual energy from it. I don't know. I don't know. Let's take a look, see at you. Okay. For you. Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. We'll talk about it in a moment. Hold on. Okay. And there it is. Okay. So like I said, I didn't know what I was going to see necessarily. I'm seeing a Capricorn who's recently chosen to sever ties with somebody, sexually, physically, the whole gamut, right? And it's looking like an emotional as well. All right. So that tells me you're very grounded in your sexual energy. I can't say I'm surprised. Earth signs typically are. It's one of your pros by far. Yes, it can go for the earth signs. It has many, all signs, all elements, all cards, all signs. We all have pros and cons. If you've been around my channel, you know this, okay? Or you ought to, even if you haven't been around my channel. But yeah, there's that thing of the earth equality that I'm seeing. It's like I can completely take full possession of this or I can't. And so typically when you actually, the earth energies finally physically move on from something, situation, they have to relinquish everything that goes with it, the mental energy, the emotional energy, and the sexual energy. So I'm seeing a full severance here, right there. So this is one of those things where you're showing me the beginning off the back of an ending. We're going to start right here today with death. But yeah, something is unfolding for you. It is rather beautiful. It is rather sizable, okay? But yes, death, sexual transformation, sexual freedom, liberation, as we've been discussing. I don't know when you did this. It's up to your own particular timeline. This could have been years ago. This could have been last week. This could have been today, for all I know. I don't know. It's a little bit more open-ended, but we might be able to do time checks later. It just depends on what we see. Show me death, please. Show me death. Show me death. For everyone who wants to know, I don't use this too often, but it is a favorite. It is an OG to this channel. This is the tarot deck of sexual magic, respectively. This one is its companion, okay, in terms of oracles. All right, let's see that. Show me death, please. Show me this transformative energy for sexual. Capricorn energy. Show me that death, please. Show me death. The Three of Wands, waiting, King of Swords, there's the declaration, there's the decision. I'm seeing some very cohesive parts in you today. So you were very consolidated when you did this. Again, it was a full severance, full parting of ways. Physical, mental, emotional, so on and so forth. And when you did this, you did so at a very conscious level, and there's the possession of the thought as well as the action. So again, the earth energy, your pro by far is this sense of this is mine, and that includes everything you do, not just your physical acquisition of things in the material world, but also your thoughts and ideas. I take full ownership of it here with the Queen of Pentacles. From a sound place and mind in you, and also your body was on board with this, your sexual energy said, I can't wait anymore. So it felt like your sexual energy was too far apart from somebody. It would never come together. You always felt like you were waiting, or that perhaps the distance, Three of Wands has that implication of distance as well as waiting. Okay, and then that's often why we associate distance with waiting, because when you're at a distance from somebody, you have to wait. And what do I say all the time, guys? You have to know it's worth waiting for or have a darn good reason. And I'm sure that for a while you had a darn good reason, but your sexual energy was always in this place of want. And I don't know if you were 3,000 miles away or if you were 3 blocks away. The point is that your sexual energy was always in a state of suspension, always left waiting. And you did for a while there. Some very commanding parts of you were like, I'm in this. And then at some point it wasn't. With the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, they had a little conference, they had a little talk and said, no more waiting. You know, that sexual energy. Sometimes distance, yes, sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder, but in order to actually have a relationship in some way, it has to be sustained more than suspended. Okay, there comes a time. I'm not saying long-distance relationships can't work, and even then I don't know that that was the case necessarily. But the idea is that, you know, sometimes suspension and the weight of it surpasses your ability to be able to sustain the energy, and that's perfectly reasonable. And then also, in the general sense, even if distance wasn't the issue, your sexual energy was always on standby. It was always waiting. You knew this consciously as the King of Swords, and you accepted it with the Queen of Pentacles, and you said, this isn't good enough for me. I'm a sensual being, okay? You're saying you know yourself, you know your body, and you also know your limits. And at some point you met your limit in terms of your sexual energy being stretched out, not utilized, not being made good upon. Somebody's not reaching back for it. And this is what all led up to the opening and your decision here to sever. Okay, I see you looking at the picture of them, and I see their energy floating around in the background, and they're sorry to go, and you're sorry that you had to cut them out. But again, sexual energy can only be sustained via suspension and or waiting so long. I don't know if all your feelings were wrapped up into it, but I do know your mind and your body were on board with this. You had so much more in you that said, I can be sustained elsewhere. And where is that? Let's jump on over into your more present or possibly future-oriented energy. I only want to stay in the past long enough to understand your present-day energy. That's it. I'm eliminating more and more of the past, and I'll tell you why. People have no problem bringing it up. That's why. I saw enough of it to understand your jumping point. Okay, so this is where you are. 9 of Cups and the 4 of Wands. You look a lot happier. Relaxed. You look relaxed emotionally, and you look relaxed sexually. Now, by all rights with the 4 of Wands, that's typically active relationship energy, so you're either emotionally and sexually anticipating it, and it makes you feel good. In other words, you're open for business, or you started connecting to somebody. And if you haven't yet, that's what I'm leaning towards, that you started to connect with somebody, and if you haven't yet, you will soon. And I like their energy. I don't know if you can tell by the look on my face, and honey, you're going to like it too. Look at you, honey. Or rather, look at your person. 9 of Pentacles and the Lovers. Oh boy, they're just glowing. Now that's earthbound. Oh, that's earthy, it's sexy, it's everything. So we have someone here who is very single. You're showing me 9, they're showing me 9, the best 9s, emotional and sexual positivity. And they have a wealth of knowledge that says they're very comfortable with who they are. They're very comfortable with their own particular body in terms of that sexual energy. They understand what sexual essence is, but they don't let it get away with them either. They're very grounded. Okay, so this person's experienced in their sexual energy, and they have a very strong connection attached to them. So I don't know, again, if you have just met this person, if you're on the precipice of it, but you both look, well, for lack of a better word, but perhaps the most appropriate word is that you both look ripe, very ripe. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, this is gorgeous, honey. If more people were tuned in to the more sensitivity or the sensitive nature that is sexual energy, you would understand why I'm so pleased with this. I'm so pleased with this because it feels right. It feels very, very right. All the corners are just right. So I see, this is my personal experience, I see energy in sharp corners or soft, undefined ones, and this one's very sharp for you and for them. So that's good. When we create 4 corners, we create balance, cohesiveness, sturdiness. It's basically the 4 of Wands energy. Okay? So, emotionally and sexually relationship oriented you are. In other words, not casual. Don't get me wrong, the passion's here. Okay, but passion in a sense of wanting to balance with somebody in a consistent manner that suggests this is between you and I. That's what we want. Okay? They're showing me something similar but very grounded. And the Magician here, the Knights of Wands, we like in this. So this is the energies I can best see it over the next several months. Let's just call it for fall. And then we have a touch of the Moon here. Not all is yet known. Possibly some secrets, but not all is yet known. Not all is yet known. Okay. Not all is yet known. And that's fine. Especially if something's just unfolding and there's not enough to know yet. With this energy like this, we want to live more in the moment. Okay? Let's see you, that 9 of Cups. I'm not saying you're perfect. I'm not saying they're perfect. But what I'm saying is that this is a very strong opportunity for a loving, healthy, emotional, and sexual union, which again is what we want. Or rather, that's not everybody's priority. Some people just, they want to choose relationships based on comforts or status or, you know, knowing that it's there. It's, but you're like, no, I want the elements of love and passion, and I believe this person does too. Let's see that 4 of Wands and the 9 of Cups. Show me that 4 of Wands and the 9 of Cups. Let's see that 4 of Wands and the 9 of Cups, please, for Capricorn. But once more, you're not perfect, but I do like it when people know what's right for them. It might take, I don't know how long you waited, honey, for your sexual energy to be explored or taken or accepted. What? You're out of touch, I'm out of time. Why is that on loop? It's on loop? You're out of touch, I'm out of time. Yeah, someone ran out of time. You know, the thing is, what's interesting about that song is like, you're out of touch. And that's typically what people say, well, you're out of touch, like you're out of time in terms of you're outdated in your thinking or you're not in tune with everybody else. To me, I was like out of touch. I hear it as, I have no more touch to give you. Because somebody else just keeps lagging behind. So they're out of time and I have no more touch to try to give you. And that's how I've often heard it. I can only give you so much affection if you just keep running behind me. You know. Something like that. So yeah, anyway, it's interesting. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. It looks like you were out of touch for this person, like you lost your touch for them, and they ran out of time, because right there. Didn't make it any easier, I'm sure. Anyway, I just heard that. It was pretty distinct. Hall something, but you guys know that. All right. Yes, there it is. This is beautiful. King of Wands. King of Wands, 8 of Wands, 10 of Cups. This is beautiful. Look at all that. Look at all that lovely passion. We're talking passionately. We're embracing passionately. Your sexual energy is on point. It's very, you're so pleased. Look at this. Personal sense of I am pleased with this. You feel very fulfilled. I can't help but think this has just started. And you already, baby, you know this is going somewhere. You know this is going somewhere. I will try to do a time check for those of you Capricorns who are in complete disbelief. I don't believe me. It's very beautiful, and I don't get to see things like this too often, or for you. So let's not be cynical Capricorns. I want to see more stuff like this for you guys. I really do. I can't really remember the last time I have. So let's rejoice. And if it's not you, keep yourself open towards it. Good tarot is ultimately timeless. It will resonate with you when it resonates with you, if at all, but still. Keep your mind open, keep your heart open, because that's beautiful. King of Wands, the passionate. He's the most passionate of the kings, but his job is to be the most in control of them, right? Passion's not just sex, guys. It's the drive, the unapologetic drive to be oneself. King, Queen of Wands, that's what they're known for, right? Eight of Wands, active communications. 10 of Cups, you're loving this. Everything about it feels cohesive. You seem to know, 9 to 10, that it's going to take you places. It's looking like you are already in the active constructive process of building a healthy relationship, but more than building in it. That's what the thing about the earth signs that why you guys throw me off. You can build something but not necessarily see your emotions in it. You're showing me your emotions forward in this. So this is more than a little constructive project for you in terms of I can make this work. Earth signs can show me all the time in the relationships, I can make this work. Does that mean you should? Does that mean you feel anything for it? I know I give you guys a little bit of a project and you're like, I can make this work, but do you want to? And in this one, I can unequivocally say, Capricorn, I'm very pleased to report you very much want to. The sexual energy for you is alive. It's on point. We're talking. The passion is just dripping in your communication. The emotionality, too. Water and fire both here. Your intentions are clear. No hesitation. You are all fired up. I love this. And yeah, it's, as far as I can tell, it's sexually active. No vague will they or will they not. You're like, oh no. We will, and we will continue to do so. So that's great. As far as I can tell, your emotional and sexual energy is active. It's not theoretical. It's active. And it's on point. You are loving it, honey. You love it. You love embracing this person. It makes you feel so warm. It really triggers a lot of natural instinct in you that is, again, both healthy, emotionally, sexually, and protective. We must remember the King of Wands is very protective. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles and the Lovers. Oh, yes. I can see why we're feeling so good. Strong connection to the Lovers is, if you are new and you haven't heard the gambit of it, no, I do not personally believe in twin flames. I do believe in the things like Lovers, which is just a hypersensitive kind of soul bond and or soulmate type situation. The Lovers is a challenge. It's supposed to be. It will be one of the hardest connections you will ever have, yes, but it's because it's challenging of the self, not because the other person's challenging. If you think the other person is the challenge, we've already failed, okay? It's about challenge of the self. What am I willing to change about me in order to be in the best possible position I can be to accept this strong connection, okay? The Lovers really is confrontational. It makes us see that we're not perfect, that we have a lot of work that we need to do in ourselves. So I very rarely get to see people really enjoy their Lovers connection. They'll get one briefly, and then they'll lose it quickly, you know. Like I said, it's not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but they do say that they understand the connection to you is quite fierce, and that they themselves are very independent too, you know. It's an emotional connection. It's a mental connection. Page of Cups, requiring opening up the heart space. It's mental, emotional, sexual, spiritual. Okay, so it's a multi-layered bonding system, which means, again, it's not simple. So what's the difference between that and twin flames? Well, again, first of all, I don't believe in twin flames. But if you boiled it down, the twin flames is not more than an exaggerated chaser-runner dynamic that causes a lot of psychological harm because we're convinced the other person's at fault. That's the difference between understanding the Lovers and believing in twin flames. But if it's your beliefs, I understand. Just please know something either makes you feel fulfilled, loved, and secure, or it doesn't. And if you're constantly chasing or you feel that you're constantly being chased, neither one's good. Okay. Two people have to want it to keep it. Okay. Seven of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands. You know, they're showing me a sense of insecurity. All right, a little bit. It's looking like they have come from a previous foundation that they understand was kind of grueling, not easy. The sexual energy where they were coming from was tense, and it didn't feel good. It actually feels kind of insecure where they're coming from. Okay, they've said that they have exited a Ten of Pentacles, much like you have opened up with a severance as well, like I'm severing this from my life. They're saying that they had to ease away from a foundation that was not productive in terms of healthiness, as we were discussing, and it didn't seem to be stable, sexually or otherwise. So this person has gone solo. You seem to understand this about them, or you will relatively soon. They have edged out, or they have done a job edging themselves away from a foundation. In other words, they resist it. They resisted putting any more of themselves into it. That's all I really have for a marker for this person. But they did not feel secure in it. It did not feel like a secure, and I see foundations all the time. That doesn't mean they're secure or loving, cohesive, that they make sense. Okay, a lot of people build foundations just to give themselves something to do if it keeps them busy. And this person had to do a job of edging away from it. Okay, and they're telling me that the tension was extremely high. It was all work, no play, no love. Okay, and that they themselves had to blossom in this own particular process. And in that blossoming effect, they are showing me a strong sense of individuation and that they themselves desire so much more. Okay, so it's looking like they have left something behind in order to be where they are today. What their complete backstory is, I could not say. I just know that where they're coming from was tense. It was tense, and again, it wasn't secure. I don't even know that it was financially secure. It was very busy. But there was no love in it, and there was no, never mind, sexual fulfillment. It was established, but they left it, or they edged away from it, or they no longer participate in it. That's all I know. And they're saying that they are much happier on their own, and that they themselves, like you, are looking for something greater. Okay? So I'm just giving you markers about who this person is. When you started to communicate with them, I don't know how, but they have a very specific pre-existing story attached to them. Okay, they might have said something to the effect of, I just kind of left this situation. I knew I'd be better on my own, or I was in this way too long, and it was grossly dissatisfying, never mind stable, emotionally supportive or sexually supportive. Okay, I don't know why that's so important, but they're really impressing upon that particular point. It's almost like they're saying they had to get out of this in order to find themselves, and then thus they found you. It kind of feels like that. I don't know if they were guided in that direction to exit this so that they could connect with you. I don't know. I don't know. It's almost like they're saying they left this, they knew it wouldn't work out. Or not that. It's kind of like they're saying, if I hadn't left this, I never would have found you. Like that. So while it might have been egregious and a difficult situation, there's that side of it. It couldn't have been any other way. If it hadn't been any other way, I couldn't have connected to you. I don't know if they straight up left something else for you. I don't know that it feels that way. But it's like if it had been any other way, I wouldn't have been able to connect with you today. And you are very thankful. Because you're seeing the whole thing with them. You're seeing a larger picture with them. You're feeling it too. And I'm kind of glad to see you put your pentacle down long enough to build the emotional presence with this person. Okay? It's got you engaged in all the right ways. Okay? But yes, this person is they're also telling me they're very comfortable with their body. Okay? With the Lovers over that Nine of Pentacles, so that, again, that pentacle energy being earthy, they're kind of possessive in their relationships and that they know who they are and they expect active, constructive construction efforts in it. But sexually, they expect the same. It's looking like this person's had a lot of, neglect. Okay. Emotional neglect, sexual neglect. Whatever it is they were coming from, they kind of left it behind. The frustration, the chaos, and the disappointment. And now they get to connect with you and things are looking very, very fluid. Are we switching? Okay. All right, let's see. The Magician, the Knight of Wands, and the Moon. Energy, thereabouts, over the next several months. Let's see that Magician, please. Show me the Magician, show me the Magician. Show me that Magician. And this is the manifestation. It feels really good with the Knight of Wands. No, I do not just dismiss him as a quote-unquote player. Like I said, they all have pros and they all have cons. Unfortunately, modern tarot readers dismiss it as just kind of like, oh, it's just mess around energy. Well, then that means they don't have an appreciation for the real energy behind it. Honey, I pull the Knights of Wands all the time. That's my energy. Go, go, go. But not just busyness like the Knight of Swords. You know, it's because I want to. That's what passion is. I'm invested in this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with it. That's what he does. So it's not just sexual energy. It's almost like that I dare to live life. I got the energy to back it up, right? And you're like, I want more of this, please. The Magician, and you've been manifesting this in more than just passion, honey, but the want, the desire to be part of something so much more. I mean, anybody can just be passionate. You don't have to manifest it. You see what I'm saying? It's because we wanted somewhat of that frequency. Someone who can just take off and run with the energy. You know what I'm saying? No hesitation. Bravery. Let's go. Let's jump into this. No more waiting. Let's make it happen now while we're alive, baby. All that stuff. All that good stuff, honey. Let's see that Magician, please. Okay, the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Swords, that's what I'm saying, the Knight of Pentacles. No more. See, I know you're reflecting. This is why I don't do past placements anymore. You just proved to me why. You're showing me reflections of the past and why you had to sever ways with this one. You said all my energy did was doubt itself. It talked me out of my feelings for this. I was emotionally dissatisfied, I was mentally disconnected, and I was sexually disconnected because something somewhere was moving way too slow, waiting. No mas, no more. So you magicianed it, right? I want more. I am summoning more for myself. I want my emotional energy to be appreciated and claimed by somebody. I want my sexual energy to be appreciated and claimed by somebody. I want to get out of my head. I overthink. You're telling me that your biggest issue here with whatever this was that you parted ways with is that you overthought this connection to the point of pain. All you were was up here to the point that you emotionally started to walk away from it. Eight of Cups. Emotional abandonment. And then you couldn't see that there was any progress in that connection at all. And I have to agree with you. That's next to no progress. So getting yourself all worked up about progress. Progress is this going somewhere? Is this going somewhere? Is this going somewhere? No, it wasn't. You see the splintering there? That's what we call splintering. It's fragmentation. Do you see how consolidated you were? Okay? When you made the decision to cut this. Consolidation. This is energetic consolidation at its finest compared to where you were. So it's like my manifestation for whatever the situation was going right out the window. As soon as I was manifesting it, it was gone. It went nowhere. Right? It's like, I will never do that again. I will never waste my energy again, emotional, sexual, or mental. Because I see what happened, honey. You spent so much time wondering if anything was going to happen to this. You realized that you saw the situation for it was. You were waiting for something more to blossom or come forward from this. And that's cold, and it's detached, and it's unloved, and it's unsexed, and it's everything, right? And it's like my manifestation for this situation is going to waste. All this is, Capricorn is saying, is an exaggerated form of waiting, wondering if it's ever going to come through. You concluded no. And then you started to manifest in a direction that says, I'm excited. No more falseness. No more dragon feet. No more wondering. It should just happen. It should just fall into place. And no more hesitation. No more hesitation. I will never get myself in a situation where I'm constantly hesitating, wondering if something's gonna happen. Fuck no. It should come together like this. That's how easy it is. Yes. Let's see that Knight of Wands, please. Very good. And I say very good And I know it's coming from a place of this took a long time before you realized all this fancy bullshit about is ever something ever going to happen was just an exaggerated form of waiting. And then when you realized that was the day that you set yourself free. And look how consolidated your energy got. I'm not waiting for this anymore. Because that's what I'm doing. Wondering if my manifestation's ever going to, quote unquote, go somewhere in this, whatever it is. I don't know what that was to you. It was emotional waiting, mental waiting, sexual waiting. So I don't know who kept you hanging on, but honey, when I heard that song, I'm out of touch for you, and you're out of time. That was no joke. I don't know how long you did that, but it was long enough for you to realize he was waiting. The second you have to ask yourself, I'm really invested in this, but I'm no clearer about the direction, that's how you know it has none. You shouldn't have to ask. Something's remarkably straightforward and you can attach yourself to it safely, or you can't. Something has intentions and has somewhere to go and grow, or it doesn't. That's it. That's all there is. You don't need years of evidence. It either is or it isn't. Okay, let's see that Knight of Wands, please. Let's see that Knight of Wands. The reason I keep bringing it's, first of all, you showed me how important this was to you. You used to manifest it until you stopped. Good. I also want you to see the power of your manifestation when it was aimed correctly. I want you to see the difference between being fragmented and being in alignment. And look what happens to you when you understand that. Okay? So my whole thing as a tarot reader, motivation. I want to understand it. 2, are you doing what's in your best interest? There you go. 3 of Cups, Judgment, the Lovers. That's who they are. You will connect with them when you were supposed to. And when you do, there is no hesitation. Here, it's all hesitation. You're manifesting to no avail. Over here, you pointed your energy in a different direction and you were rewarded almost immediately. Okay. If you have gotten invitations to go out, I want you to accept them. This comes through beautifully. With Judgment, the 3 of Cups, and the Lovers. There they are. I was wondering when you were going to meet them. If you haven't yet, like I said, soon. You'll connect with them when you're supposed to, relatively soon. And it's a lesson for you in connectivity. Something either immediately presents itself as yes or no. There's your lover, right there. They had their own stuff that they had to deal with. I respect that. Again, it's really cold where they came from. I feel kind of bad for them. It's really cold where they came from. No warmth, no love. It was all work, no play, no emotional anything. Just, it's so cold. So this is your lover. No doubt you both had lessons and leaving things behind that were not for you so that you could, in fact, find each other. It's beautiful. You know, honey, you know me. I'm a very realistic reader, so very realistic, you know that. I have no problem saying, this is what happened. This is where you screwed up. This is where they screwed up. You know me. So the fact that I'm saying something like this for you makes me very happy. You know, I don't do the fairy tale crap, honey. These are 2 people who obviously earned each other. I don't get to see the lovers taken up very often, so that's beautiful. It takes getting your ass kicked for both of you. They did too. They had their ass kicked in love and in life. Yeah, as did you, in some point. And then so you having both released situations that were no longer for you, you end up finding each other. And that's, again, how the universe works. When one door closes, another opens. But more to the point, you don't close it just for the sake of it. No, no, no. You close something because you know it's not correct for you. Or it's no longer yours. You don't get to say sometimes when the universe delivers those towers. Or the world. It was not what you had wished. Nevertheless, it was brought upon us sometimes. The point is, did you do what you need to do? Did you learn what you need to learn? And when you do that, sometimes you get beautiful things like this. Like I said, you two are ripe for the picking. For each other. Oh, it's beautiful. If you feel your energy rise now, around this time, or will continue to do so over the next several months, I want you to really lean into that, engage with it. I don't quite know. I just know that when you connect with them, you'll know. There won't be any confusion. It will just be correct. Okay, let's take a look at that moon. It's beautiful. The Lover's, Judgment, Three of Cups, the Knight of Wands. Whew, honey, when it's time to connect, reconnect, or be social with this person, it is. Reconnection, I have to throw that out there as an aside because the Three of Cups is here with the Lovers twice plus Judgment. So, I don't know if there's someone we used to know. Okay? But I have to put that out there as a technicality. Yes, it is possible that with this kind of high-ranking Lovers connection plus Judgment, Three of Cups, it could be a reconnection, but it's clearly one of the past. All right, and the timing is right when the timing is right, or it could be a brand new entity. I just know, like I said, when you're sitting across from them, you both should know. You both should know. And you'll both be glowing. Almost in a literal sense. Let's see that moon, please. So, you showed me a closing and an opening, and it's beautiful. Let's see that moon, please. Show me that moon. Show me that moon. Show me that moon, please. Show me that moon. Show me that moon. I do not know if they are one and the same person. That whom you disconnected from comes back around. I don't know. They have something attached to them that suggests they had to exit it, though. Or they're on the verge of it, or the verge of understanding it. I don't know. It's whichever suits your situation. So, I do not know that they are necessarily the same person. Let's see that moon, please. Show me the moon. Show me the moon. Show me the moon. Seven of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands. It's interesting. They showed me the Seven of Swords. Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands under their moon. Whatever this person is coming from, they knew in some way, in some degree, that their balance, whatever it is they were participating in, is not for them. They know it. But it took them a long time to access the knowledge because it was under their moon. It was something they didn't want to deal with. It was something that they didn't want to deal with, and they still struggle with it. How could I have been in this long and dedicate myself to it and it not be for me? Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So there's a good chance you could be connecting to a fellow earth sign because there's that kind of earthian concept. It's because I put myself into this, how could it not be correct? You know, because I chose to invest in this and build my world around it, how could it not be correct? And this is something that they still struggle with. They show me the Seven of Swords twice. And while they fully exited this, because it was not emotionally or sexually secure, financially it might have been, but it was feels like it was still barely getting by. Or it was just too damn busy. Anyway, they're showing me that balance is something they still struggle with. And the hesitation around their energy to invest. They might have some trust issues. There might be some hesitation in them. Because when they're with you, they unfold beautifully, the way they're supposed to. But when it comes to the reality, it's like, how could this have happened? And this is something they're still going to struggle with. Because they're so deeply connected to you, spiritually, emotionally, and sexually. And then they reflect upon their background noise of things that they have cooperated in, and they're like, how come it always adds up like this? But with you, it's completely different. And there's going to be some awe and wonder there about why they ever hesitated to begin with, and it's because you two are making it look so easy. The companionability, you're making it both look so easy, and they keep going back to, well, how could I have put my entire life into this and it be wrong? It's not that it was wrong, it's just that's what we chose at the time, and perhaps it made sense at the time, but they're really struggling with this. So I would say around this person's shadow, anticipate some issues regarding hesitancy in investment, because as much as they desire the connection, they still have some work to do. Around comprehensive building structure and what it should look like. Okay, in terms of a emotional, not just 3D building. They keep wondering how the 3D building can be so wrong, because it is. When you enter something at the time, it might have made sense from a practical point of view, but that doesn't mean a heart was in it or that the other person's heart was completely in it, you know? And they're really struggling with this. They're struggling with this, you know? How come I construct the wrong projects with the wrong people? You know, I put myself into it. Doesn't that count for something? Yeah, it does. It counts for real world experience. But that means also, too, we have to be open to the concept of maybe we chose wrong. So it's interesting. They still struggle with some of these parts. But for the most part, when they connect with you, I mean, like I said, you two make it look easy. It's so easy to connect. It's so easy to connect. This is something that they still have to work on. And while they might have left this behind, a part of them still lingers in doubt, self-doubt. They get hit with self-doubt quite a bit. Particularly in the effort to pick the right person to construct a world with. This is where they struggle. But you understand that that's what you opened up with. Maybe that's why you're supposed to be attached to them. You can help guide them through this process. Like I did it too. You know, I manifested the wrong person, the wrong situation for a long time and realized I was just doing a fancy form of waiting. And I had nothing to show for it. At least you had some pentacles with the other person to work with. So it couldn't have been all that wrong, but it still wasn't for you, you know? At least you had that. Because you're saying that's the part you couldn't relate to at all, is that you didn't have any pentacle energy with that with whom you gave up. That you're always in want of waiting in some form of direction. And that you manifested wrongly for years. You built a whole world around someone else and turned out that you were wrong. It's not that you were really wrong, really. It's lessons. Okay. So, the connection itself is quite strong. It's quite potent. It's beautiful. And like I said, it connects very easily, which is the way it should be. All right? So do keep that in mind. There's still some hesitation there on their side. I do understand it. I put my whole life into this other thing. How could it have been so wrong? Again, they're going to need help with that. It's not that it was wrong. It was just understanding what was right for them and not right for them. You know, that's not an easy thing to digest. It's not. Let's see here. Oh, yours just flew on by. I didn't even notice the time. Speaking of time, February for some of you, next February. In tarot time, that's nothing. That's right around the corner. Think about it. We're in October. What's a couple of months? But yes, for some of you, this coming February will be interesting. Let it happen organically. Yes, I'm a big fan of that. I'm a huge fan of that. And let it happen organically. Don't push. Don't contrive. Right? We don't want to do that. We want things, especially since the flow between you two takes next to no effort. And I mean that. It takes next to no effort, the way it should be. This person's used to effort and very little reward. Remember that. Very interesting. They're used to high amounts of effort and very little emotional and or sexual satisfaction and security in the real world. I feel like this person had to fight to feel secure, never really did. And all the fronts. All the fronts. Physical, mental, emotional, sexual. Anyway, remember that. But let it happen organically. High contrast do you have in your connection between you and the other thing that you left behind and they too. So you two are very much like this. Okay? Okay. Let it happen organically. So your sexual energy, I'm happy to report, is pointing at the right person, at the right time, and in the right way. In this codependency, yeah, see, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So I don't know if that's you or them. It could be that you were summoning and it felt addictive and you summoned the wrong person for a long time and you always felt like you were waiting and or codependent on them to make up their mind. Their mind was already made up. Anyone who allows you to wait that long without any sort of definition, they already made up their mind. They just didn't use the words because they're getting something from you, so they try to keep you around. Again, somebody has to grow up and realize what's going on. It could be that this person has come from a codependent state in that respect of we forged those connections based out of need at the time, but we didn't know that. Okay? And there's just always this sense of physical need, monetary benefit, stability, but... And that's a false construct if no one put any love in it. Real love, real authentic love, and real authentic self from it from the beginning. And it can create codependency, yes? Okay. And soulmate, yes, of course. Yes, this is your soulmate. Like I said, when you two connect, you'll know. It won't be confusing at all for either one of you. It's almost like their energy is saying, like, wait, I don't have to work myself to death for somebody to love me? You mean it can just happen organically? What's up with that? No one's ever told me that. Yeah. Kind of tells you how human beings treat each other. Okay. And trust. Trust that this situation's for you. For the both of you, really. It's for the both of you. Like I said, you're both ripe. You're both ripe. Okay. Is there anything else in here? This one's interesting. 36. Now, I know across we think, oh, religion, or oh, commitment, oh, the altar. In this deck in the Lenormand, it means the cross of barons. Someone feels like a martyr to carry the burdens. Whoever has that sense of codependency, because I put myself into this, I have to keep doing it. It's coming across strongly from what they've always known. Again, they're not used to organic flow. It's like, again, if I don't work myself to death, it can't be real or it can't be legit. Yeah. Okay. And then, and in sharp contrast to that heavy sense of burden, we have the lover's energy. So the tulip, in classic symbolism, the tulip was for the lover. I'm giving my lover tulips. That way we both know. We both know what's up. We both know what's up. So the tulip was the secret language of lovers, the flowers. Okay. Yes, I know. That is happening. That is happening. The expression, the communication, the love is there. 13. This is the magical thinking, the magical feeling that this can't be happening. It can't be this easy. There's no such thing as magic, right? It's like this can't be happening, but it is. See, the mature woman, where's that coming from? I could not say. Mature woman. I'm feeling like it's related to this, but I don't know why. A high honor. There's a high honor in this. To be connected. Okay. Okay. Capricorn, honey. Yes, it is a high honor. I don't know where that mature woman fits in. I don't know. There's a story in here. Some of you might be the mature woman. They might be the mature woman. But someone who's a little bit more on the side of conservative and very much feels pressure about what other people think in society and how she looks. Not necessarily that she's happy, but very preoccupied with, am I coming across just right? And that's a form of anti-happiness. Okay. And, okay. Anyway, that hit funny. All right. Should we do charms? Okay, let's do charms. P, the letter P, the letter J, practical. Yeah, there's that heavy practical energy here. Virgo, heavy earth over here. Whomever your connected lover is, heavy earth over here. And there's that sense of, I have to work to death or otherwise it's not a real relationship. And that's just not true. I mean, that's the downside to that earth energy, is that it can feel like a competition to maintain a relationship. Not that you necessarily want it or that the other person wants it, but it's kind of like, well, I'm in it now, so are you. Ergo, and it's the Virgo energy here. We also, I saw Taurus here today. It could be a fellow Cappy. Yeah, speaking of Taurus, there it is. There, the bull, the medallion of the bull. Okay. The lightning bolt, Scorpio energy, but also very strong realization, striking hard. And then the dragon, Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay. All right. I don't think we need too much more here. The Eiffel Tower. Beautiful. The height of the romantic structure. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Okay. The thing about the Eiffel Tower is that even though it represents the idealism of love and what it is to be alive in love and romanticism, it was still built in reality. It was still built by the man of hand. Or the hand of man. Yes, sometimes I do that. I know. It's irritating, but it's also part of my speech. So anyway, it was still built by man. In other words, anything's possible. The clouds. the silver lining, daydreaming. Daydreaming about the lover. How strong it is. But also silver lining in all things. Okay, that's enough, Capricorn. I hope this helped you. Oh, and the four-leaf clover, of course. If we see the four-leaf clover, luck, the symbol of luck. A little bit of luck. Around February for some of you, yes. Or I wish you luck. Something like that. Okay, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.